What's up guys, welcome back to the KBFx channel. Just back from my cousin's stag do in Dublin. Fifi, what are you doing? Just back from my cousin's stag do in Dublin and had an amazing time. Just drank a hell of a lot of Zero Guinness. It's become very mainstream now, Zero Guinness, so it's really cool that it was literally everywhere we went in Dublin. They had it on tap, which is really cool that they have it on tap now everywhere I go. It feels like as soon as I stop drinking, all of a sudden it becomes mainstream and everywhere is invoking it now, so that's really cool. Also got this hat as some memorabilia, and I gotta say I feel like Bruno Mars in this hat, but yeah, I just thought I'd wear it for this video because I feel like I'm rocking it, low key rocking the hat, so maybe I'm gonna get into hats. I don't really wear hats, but I want to start wearing hats. Anyway, so in this video I just thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to share how I forecast the Forex markets for my strategy on the 1 hour time frame. So I've just brought my chart up here. The market's just opened, it's Sunday 10:45. So we've just seen a mini gap here on AU. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write on my chart what I'm seeing and then pop that over into my daily forecast on Notion. And I'll just walk you guys through how I do that now. So let's go through that on the chart. So if you look at my screen, you can see we've got AUD USD open on the 1 hour time frame. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to start a text prompt and just type in here. So in prior section, we can see that price action has been trying to move to the upside and struggling. So I'm just going to put that there. So prior price action, what we've been seeing in prior price action, and then what we're seeing in more recent price action. So I'm just going to note as well that we have seen a mini gap. I know it's not a massive gap, but because of volatile news as of recent, the market has been more prone to gapping. So that means if I'm holding over the weekends, extra risk that I don't want to be putting on my account. So I'm just going to note that price action has been gapping over the weekends, cautious of holding any trades over the weekend. I'm just going to mark that down like so, and then just going to note looking for a strong leg of momentum in order to take a trade, especially in the former parts of the week, like so. And then I'm just going to do a screenshot of this now by clicking Ctrl-Alt-S. After I just do a quick drawing on here for you guys, AUD USD. I'm looking for strong leg of momentum to the downside, with of course being red, and then pull back with no shift, strong break of the low, pull back and go, or the flag setup like so. And on AUD USD, I know if we get a nice leg of momentum and then start to descend, break the high, we like to pull back and go. So we'll just put that one in green because that is a buy. So this is what I'm looking for in order to take a trade in the former parts of the week. So I'm just going to mark that here in my daily forecast. So this is just AUD USD, and I'll quickly walk you guys through the rest of the pairs as well. So we can see on Great British Pound US Dollar, we were getting a nice leg of momentum to the upside, and then we started to break, retrace. So just show you guys what I mean. So we can see that we were pushing up, and then we started to see signs of weakness here, and here, where we broke, retraced, broke, retraced, broke, retraced, broke, with a wick, large wick, retraced, and then nice leg of momentum to the upside, and then we see a shift of momentum to the downside here, and then as forecasted after that shift we start to range. So what I'm going to do is then write down in price action we saw a nice well, I'll say we saw upwards pressure, and then started to break and retrace. Then pushed up but couldn't commit. I'm just going to put that. Then pushed up but couldn't commit. Yeah. So by couldn't commit, I mean we pushed up and then we started to range. Then pushed up but started to range, or couldn't commit. Either of those would work in that scenario. And then this Great British Pound US dollar. So looking for especially clear momentum in order to take interest, to take a trade. In order to take interest, I'm just going to put for a trade instead. In order to take interest for a trade, yeah, so again, I'm just going to quickly draw on what I'm looking for. So strong leg of momentum to the downside or upside. So for contrast, what I can do is I'll put this one to the upside, because I'm also forecasting this on both sides. So if we continue with the upwards momentum, and then we pull back and go, or we get that flag set up, and I'll be interested in that. And I know that the wide flag works out very well on this pair, so I'm just going to mark that as well. We don't take reversals on this pair. As a pair characteristic, they don't tend to play out very well. So yeah, I'm just going to pop this under Great British Pound US dollar quickly for you guys, and then we'll move on to the Euro US dollar quickly. So let's have a look at the Euro. The Euro, we were seeing some nice upwards momentum on Thursday, and then later on Thursday, after 5 PM, we started to struggle, and then going 11 PM, we started to kick back up, and then Friday 1 AM, we see a very large wick here, and then we pull back, and then we break into that area of liquidity above this large wick, and we break it with a wick, and then start to range as forecasted. So again, in order to take a long position, be looking for similar setups. So I'll just quickly draw that on. Strong leg of momentum, pull back with no shift and go, or that flag setup. On the Euro, I am looking for reversals, so I'm going to draw on a reversal for you guys. If we push up and then start to ascend, break, retrace, break, retrace, break, retrace, break, retrace. I am also looking for this setup in order to go short, so I'll just put that on red for you guys. And then yeah, we'll just go text in price action. We were seeing upwards momentum, but going into Friday, we failed to commit. Failed to commit to the upside, and unfortunately there was nothing there of interest. I'm just going to leave that. Unfortunately there was nothing with failed to commit. I'm just going to leave that at failed to commit. I'm just going to put that underneath. In price action, we were seeing upwards momentum here on Thursday, but going on Friday, we failed to commit. I'm just going to put and started a range. Sweet. And then we're just going to go on type below that. In order to go long, I would need to see very strong, clear momentum to the upside. I know this looks, this can look incredibly simplified right now, And I understand that I can be making this look incredibly simple, and I know that trading is far from easy and it's far from incredibly simple. So please do not take this and interpret that trading is very simple and easy. It can be simple and easy when you put the work in and the time. I've dedicated a long time towards learning trading and learning how to manage my emotions. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of that and put that under Euro US dollar here. So yeah, just as simple as that. I know, like I say, I'm making it look really stupidly simple, but this is just a forecast, and forecasting is incredibly simple. Trading itself, very emotional, absolute roller coaster. It will test you to the core, but forecasting, very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Yeah, so let's move on to AUD JPY, and then here we go. So this is AUD JPY. We can see that obviously I know a lot has been going on in the news. I don't watch the news. I stay in my own lane. I've got tunnel vision goggles on. I just read books, meditate and journal and trade and teach my mates how to trade. And, you know, I try and keep as much negative energy and bad vibes away from me as I can. And the news is the epitome of negative energy and bad vibes. So I don't watch the news. I don't give an F about the news. I don't give that any attention, any focus whatsoever. I just focus on me and my path and what I'm working on and where I'm going. I'd also recommend you do the same. Delete social media and just focus on you instead of everyone else, and it will do wonders for your mental health. But I digress. My point I was making is, in the news, I know Donald Trump is being elected as US president, and that has caused the markets to be very volatile and very uncertain. So, you know, we can blame Trump for the uncertainty in the markets. You know, there's a lot going on in the world right now, not just Trump, but a lot of other things as well. So, I know AI in China and Russia and the US are also, you know, in a race to the moon. So I know that has a lot to do with the markets as well. But I don't recommend blaming your trading on anyone other than you. You can only focus on you, and your trading results usually are a direct... I don't want to say your trading results are a direct result of you, but, you know, only you can control how you react. So how you react is entirely up to you. The markets aren't up to you, but how you react to them is up to you. And I'd recommend, whilst the markets are being very volatile and uncertain, to be extra patient and extra cautious, and just, you know, don't try and avoid incredibly low risk setups, because that can be very low risk setups. Avoid them anyway, but you know, just be especially patient. I don't know what this is in my hat. Oh, is that the tag? Just be especially patient during these volatile and uncertain times. So anyway, this is AUD JPY. Very volatile, very spiky. We have been range bound as well, but yeah, it's been volatile, it's been spiky, and it's been uncertain. There's been some movement, especially recently. We can see how big these candles are recently compared to before that. So because it's so volatile and uncertain and gapping massively, I am very cautious on the Japanese Y pairs right now. So I would also advise you to be very cautious on the JPY pairs, because this volatility and this it's struggling to commit. I'm keeping my eye on the JPY pairs, but yeah, as of recent, very very uncertain. So I'd advise to be very cautious on these pairs. However, I'm going to continue to forecast them, especially for the sake of this video. So here we go, strong leg momentum, looking for a pullback and go. Depending on price action, depending on if it's really, really, really 11 out of 10. then I can take a small risk of my account. I don't over risk. I leverage my risk accordingly. So, and I don't leverage. I don't advise using leverage or margin. I don't leverage, but what I do is I leverage what I have to get the best results possible, and that's what I mean by that word leverage. I don't mean I actually use leverage in the markets. I really advise that you don't use leverage, because that can cripple you. It can cripple you, leverage, if you are reckless with it, and like most people are reckless with it. Obviously, it's been made for you to over risk and lose a lot of money. So yeah. So price action. In price action, we have seen a lot of uncertainty and volatility. In price action, we've seen a lot of uncertainty and volatility, so more cautious of weaker setups and weekend gaps. Sweet. And then again, well, I'm just going to put I'd like to see the market, the JPY pairs with a bit less what's the word I'm trying to use? I'd like to see the JPY pairs, I'd like to see them move more. I'd like to see them move more directionally. Don't know if that's how you spell directionally. Maybe 2 L's. So, not too bothered. I'd like to see the JPY pairs move more directionally and confidently. Need to see very vivid momentum to get involved. So I'll just screenshot that AUD JPY pair and just put that in my daily forecast like so. And then Euro JPY, quickly walk you guys through that one. So here we have the Euro. Again, like I say, as a recent, we can see how massive the candles suddenly get, and that they aren't committing in any direction. They're just moving very volatile up and down, and in a range bound. It's moving sideways, but very volatile and aggressively. So it's moving aggressively sideways. So I'm very cautious of that. There's potential there, but yeah. Nothing of interest recently, and yeah, I just want to see very clear, vivid momentum out of the areas of, very clearly out of the areas that could cause an issue, which would be, this is an area that could cause an issue, which clearly has caused an issue. This is another area that I would want to see us break through, just see a bit more momentum through. We can see we are struggling in that area, and again, we can see very volatile, strong news here. It'd be nice if we could push through this area as well. So yeah, if we could just get some nice, strong, clear momentum to the upside, and then if I get that, pull back with no shift, strong break, and go. More than happy and willing to take that if the price is right, and then flag set up, and then just the ascending price action. If I see that, then I'll start looking for a sell, and then I'm just going to make the buyers, the longs green, just so we can see very clearly what we're looking for on the screen. And then I'm just going to take these points off. Sweet, yeah, so on the EJ, this is what I'd like to see in order to take a long position. Moving correctively, and struggling to commit in either direction. I'm just going to put ranging aggressively, because I quite like that term. I've just come up with it. I like it. I'm patenting it. Don't steal it. It's mine. Alright, you can have it. If you really want it, you can have it. You can have ranging aggressively. It's alright. God's given me way better things. You can have it. So EJ, this is what I'm looking for in order to take a trade. Like so, very simple. Yeah, I'm just going to put that. Need to see. Very clear and vivid momentum in order to take a trade in this uncertain price action. So yeah, I don't know if I mentioned about my cousin's stag do, but we went. Obviously, I mentioned it, but I don't know if I mentioned that we went to Dublin. I probably did, but yeah, we went to Dublin. I had an amazing time with my cousin. He's getting married this year, so that's gonna be great. I've got the wedding to look forward to as well. Honestly, had such an unforgettable time at the stag do. Dublin's beautiful. My first time in Dublin. I had an absolutely amazing time. Beautiful place, and you know, I'll definitely be going back there soon when I get a chance. I was only there for one night, 24 hours, and my God, was it an eventful 24 hours. We did the portable pub, which we had to cycle, and to push it down the road, we all had to cycle and pedal, and then the guy at the front was steering it in the direction that we wanted to go. And then we would pop to a pub, everyone would get all the drinks that they wanted, and then we'd grab them, take them on our bus, and start pedaling to the next one. It was really funny, really eventful. Loads of people, everyone was staring at us. My cousin had to wear a leotard. He was Mr. Motivator, and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't personally say he was very motivational when we were cycling. I think I was the most motivational personally, but I'm a motivational speaker. He isn't, so I'll take that one. Anyway, on NZD/JPY, we can see that in this area of interest, we're struggling. So I'd need to see very clear momentum out of that. And yeah, very cautious of weak setups. So, and again in price action, very volatile, very big candles compared to normal. We can see the prior candles are a lot smaller. All of a sudden they've just started getting massive. So I'm very cautious of the type of volatility in the market. So I'm just going to put incredibly cautious of the size of the volatility in price action. Clearly a lot of uncertainty. I believe the news is to blame. So let's not blame Trump for the markets. Let's be very clear and honest. It is the news that it is impacting the markets in the way that it is, especially with their spreading of fear, uncertainty and doubt, which you could say, when is the news not spreading uncertainty and doubt? I would say the exact same thing to you. Incredibly cautious of the size of the volatility in price action. Clearly a lot of uncertainty. I believe the news is to blame. Would like to see the volatility calm down, and the markets to move more trendingly, with less uncertainty. Would like to see the volatility calm down and the markets to move more trendingly with less uncertainty in order to take a trade. But like I say, I'm still going to forecast the market because I'm going to keep my eye on the market, and I'm still going to be looking for setups, you know, depending on how they set up. I'm going to be, like I say, a lot more cautious of price action. And then it's only the Great British Pound, US dollar that I don't take reversals on. So I've been forecasting the reversal on every other pair. So So just draw that on so you guys know that, because I know it in here, but to, transmute what's in my mind to what I share is easier said than done. So yeah, this is what I'm looking for in order to take a trade on New Zealand Japanese yen. And yeah, like I say, just try and keep it as simple as you can. Try not to overcomplicate it when you're doing your forecast, and just be aware that it takes time for it to become more simple. But please don't be disheartened if it seems complicated at first, because it no one is born being able to play the piano, no one's born being able to play the guitar, no one's born being able to play basketball, no one's born being able to play football, no one's born being able to do a lot of things, no one's born able to drive. We have to learn by putting our ego aside and being open to criticism, being open to making mistakes, being open to not being perfect at first. You will never be perfect in anything that you are new to. So please just don't overcomplicate things. Just trust the process, put the work in, and over time, as you keep chipping away at it, it will slowly become a lot more simple. I can vividly recall a time where I was looking at all of this and I just thought, why am I trying to learn this? It's so overwhelming. There's no way I can learn this. It's too much to learn. And I nearly quit. Unfortunately, I didn't. And I saw to it that I saw it through, because I started it and I set out to finish it. And because I am as determined and as competitive as I am, I've managed to see it through, stick it through, and get funded. I'm not saying that's the be-all, end-all goal is to get funded. By all means, that's not the be-all, end-all goal. The end goal is perfect self-mastery and perfect self-control, and with that will come great reward. I'm just saying that to get better at trading, you just have to stick it through even when it's tough and just keep going. And if you do that, you could see growth where you couldn't see growth before. And by all means, trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is not easy money. And if anyone tells you that it is, run the other way, because trading is not easy money. It's not get-rich-quick. Real trading, real professional trading, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of time, and it takes you're gonna have to get used to hearing people call you crazy when you're studying it and not just throwing your money up the wall. They're going, why are you learning it? Why don't you just fucking buy and sell when it goes green and red? It's best to just keep this journey to yourself and trust that it's gonna take years. It took me like 2 years with a mentor to get where I am in terms of funded and paid out. But I've heard about trading 6 years ago, and I thought I knew about trading 6 years ago. I thought I understood it 6 years ago. I absolutely didn't. I think I understand it now, and I understand that if I think I know everything, then I am absolutely wrong, because I thought I knew everything when I was 9 years old. And I look at my 22-year-old self now the exact same way. I think I know everything at 22. I don't. And that's why I am keeping my ego in aside and, just trying to grow, expand. I'm always learning. I've got a few books on my shelf. Does that mean that I'm the most educated man in the world? Absolutely not. But what it does mean is I'm willing to learn, and I'm willing to stick things through and see them to the end. And for that reason, because I stick things through and see them to the end, that's why I've managed to stick this through and see it to the end. If you are a quitter and you are easily disheartened, then you're gonna struggle in trading. I'll be honest with you. If you're a quitter, trading ain't for you. If you don't have a strong work ethic, it's not for you. If you don't have any control over your emotions and impulses, it's not for you. However, you can learn these things. You can learn to control your impulses and emotions. By all means, I have not mastered that. I'm just in the process of doing it, and I just want to share that with you guys, because I believe when I do share things on my YouTube channel, it keeps me accountable. Because I started this YouTube channel about trading, it meant that I had to stick it out and see it through, because I didn't want to just, my next video to be like, oh, by the way, I gave up on trading. Fuck that shit. you know what I mean, I started a Forex YouTube channel. It means that I'm dedicated to learning as much about it as I can. And like I say, getting funded and paid out isn't the be all end all goal. What are the next steps? The next steps are get my friends funded and paid out, and then obviously I have a lot more personal goals than just trading. Trading isn't what puts this beautiful smile on my face. That, my friend, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who puts this smile on my face and has blessed me with his grace. So F trading, God is above everything and is above all, and he is the overseer of good news, and he is the one who gives me my gifts. No human, not Funded Next, not Aqua Funded, not Blue Guardian. These aren't my gods. These aren't who I worship. Trading isn't who I worship. Taylor Swift isn't who I worship. Kanye isn't who I worship. None of these people who appear to be above all are above all. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, just want to put this out there. I'm very passionate about God. I'm very passionate about my spirituality. I'm very passionate about what I believe in. And for that reason, you know, I believe that I've got to put my voice out there. So, you know, I'm not a social person. I'm not, you know, I'm not a public speaker. Like, this is new for me. I'm putting myself out of my comfort zone intentionally because I know that's where I grow. I'm not doing this because this is in my comfort zone. I didn't learn and study trading for 3 years thinking that all on the brink of quitting for 6 years, thinking that it's all a scam. I've been persistent for years. I've held the faith for years, and that's why I'm passionate and need to share my message, because I'm talking to my past self, and I just want to tell him, stay on the track, trust God, trust yourself, stop worrying, but, you know, always do your best, and keep your eyes to the sky, and the only thing you have to worry about is to have fun and be happy. And on that note, my people, I'm going to leave it. Peace, love and prosperity. It has been an absolute pleasure to be your host today. I'm Kyle. This is the KBFx channel. I'm loving the straw hat. Had a great time in Dublin. Thanks for the invite, Kez, and thank you for setting it all up, Simon. God bless. Peace.